The town of Sonora, Mexico is famous for cattle ranches as well as its signature dish, tacos al carbón. Now, al carbón means to cook or grill over coals, and that's what it is. It's meat, usually steak, cooked over coals, tucked into soft tortillas and served with garnishes like charred scallions, lime juice, and so much more. But the real question is, why isn't Keith making this already as I'm talking?
I'm a huge fan of these steak tacos. They're very simple to put together, very flavorful. Traditionally, it's made with a thin cut of steak. So we have 1.5 pound flank steak here. You want to use about 1.5 pounds to 1.75 pounds. But one thing we're going to do is I want to leave 1/8 of an inch of fat all around the surface here. What you want is that you want the fat to render, those juices to come out and hit those hot live coals and vaporize. Now, there's not a ton of fat on flank steak, so we don't have to do much trimming, but I'll take this off. That's fine right there.
So just any really deep pockets.
Yeah, and you can feel them. They're really kind of firm, and you'll feel them as you run your hand over it. So that fat on there is going to give us flavor, but we also are going to do a little trimming. So I'm just going to cut this into 3 strips, about 2 or 3 inches wide. With the grain is running like this. I'm just going to cut it like this, and again, like this. So these small strips are going to be perfect in our tacos. Now when it comes to spices, we're going to make a really, really quick spice paste. So I have 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil in there, and I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of minced chipotle chilies. Now these chipotle chilies are smoked jalapenos. They're packed in the adobo sauce. They're spicy, they're smoky, they're going to add a lot of flavor. 1.5 teaspoons of kosher salt, and 3/4 teaspoon of ground cumin. Now, cumin plays really nicely with those chipotle chilies.
Nice.
So I'm just going to stir the thing together here. And you see that we don't have a lot here. We don't want to overwhelm that steak flavor, so just a small amount. And I'm just going to take this and rub this all over the steak. Try to get it down on the edges a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to transfer this over to our tray here. And I'm just going to hit the other side of this. You could do this with your hands if you wanted to. Okay, so our steak is ready, but we're not going to just grill the steak today. We're actually going to make a salsa when we're outside. So I have 20 scallions here, and I have 2 jalapenos. We're going to go outside and we're going to grill them. We're also going to grill our 12 corn tortillas, and they're going to pick up a nice little char on the grill, a little bit of smokiness. It's all going to tie together really great. So you grab the steak, I'll grab these, and we'll go outside. You ready to grill some tacos?
So ready to grill tacos.
Okay, I've preheated this grill for 15 minutes until it's nice and hot. I'm just going to shut off one of these burners right here to create a kind of cooler zone that we're going to use later on, okay? Shut that off. And now we want to clean our grill before we put our steak on there to get rid of any stuff that we've grilled before. Now I'm just going to take some oil and a paper towel. It's going to make sure the steak doesn't stick or any of the vegetables don't stick. So we're going to grill our steak and our jalapenos at the same time. I'm going to put those in the back. And then I'll take our steaks, I'll put these on the front like this. We want to grill on the hotter side here. Now with flank steak, those muscle fibers are really long.
Right.
So what we found is if we just put them on there and just flip them once during cooking, that the steak would have a tendency to curl up and buckle, and we wouldn't get nice even browning. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to flip these every 2 minutes, and that's just going to even out the cooking, prevent some of that buckling, and we're going to get much better browning.
Great.
Okay, so it's been 2 minutes. We'll just check on our steaks.
No buckling.
No buckling. It's going to be perfect. And we'll just give these jalapenos a 1/4 turn and let those char. So I'm going to continue to cook these, flipping every 2 minutes, giving those jalapenos a 1/4 turn every 2 minutes as well. And it's going to take 7 to 10 minutes for those jalapenos to cook, 7 to 12 minutes for those steaks. And we're going to look for about 125 degrees for those steaks. It's time to check the steaks, see if they're done. Medium is the doneness that we like for flank steak. 126, you settle for that?
I will definitely settle for that.
So we're just going to let these steaks rest for 10 minutes before we slice into them. I'm just going to tent it with some foil to keep some warmth in there. Now we'll take our jalapenos off. Now can I ask you to put the plastic wrap on top of those jalapenos? While those are steaming, we're going to grill our scallions for the salsa. Now I'm just going to put these on the hotter part of the grill. We're going to let those go about 1.5 minutes. They're going to get nicely charred on this side. So it's been 1.5 minutes.
Ooh, beautiful color.
You can see they're nicely charred on this side. Greens are already nicely cooked, but the whites we want to soften a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip them over. I'm going to have the green parts over the cool side, but keep the whites over the hotter side.
Okay.
Now we just want to get a little color and cook on the whites. 1.5 to 2 minutes, and we'll come back and take those off.
Okay.
I think our scallions are ready. Oh, beautifully charred. They smell great.
They smell
If
beautiful.
I can ask you for that bowl to take the wrap off.
You got it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Plastic goes back on?
Plastic goes back on. It'll help those steam and stay nice and soft. Now there's one last piece of these tacos, which are the corn tortillas. I have 12 tortillas here. I'm gonna do them 6 at a time. Now these are pretty quick. They only take 30 to 40 seconds. You can start to see they're puffed and they're nicely charred.
Lovely.
I'm gonna flip those over. So it's been another 30 seconds on the second side. So these look perfect. So I'm just gonna wrap these in foil so they stay nice and moist and pliable. Okay, so everything is grilled. We're just gonna let our steak finish resting, and I'm gonna start building our salsa. So we have our grilled jalapenos. I'm just gonna take the top off that, cut these in half.
No need to skin them.
No need to skin them. If the skin does come off, you can just set it aside, that's fine. I am gonna set the seeds aside, and then you can suit your taste as far as how spicy you want that salsa. So I'm just gonna finely mince these. So just run across it with your knife like this, spin it 90 degrees. Okay, so I'm gonna coarsely chop our grilled scallions here. They still have some moisture to it. It's gonna be a nice accompaniment to that steak. Transfer these over to our mixing bowl here. I have 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, 1.5 tablespoons of lime juice, and I have a teaspoon of the adobo sauce. So this is the adobo sauce that the chipotles are packed in. So a little bit of tomato, a little bit of vinegar, still has some of that heat from the chilies, and a half teaspoon of kosher salt. And this is gonna kind of bring everything together here.
Beautiful.
Now I just want to stir this together, and if you don't mind, I'm gonna add the jalapeno seeds to this.
Please do.
Okay. Okay. Salsa's done. Now our steak. It's been rested under this foil. I'm gonna cut this into thin slices across the grain. So we first cut it with the grain, but now we're gonna cut it across the grain. And the idea is that we want to shorten those muscle fibers up so it's not chewy when we get into our tacos. I'm gonna give you the fully loaded taco. We're gonna start with our steak here, and we have our salsa. And we also have some cilantro leaves and some sour cream and a final squeeze of lime juice for you.
Great. I almost don't want to fold it up. It smells so good. All right.
First thing is the beef.
First thing and the last thing is beef. It is beautiful. It's got this charred flavor from being on the grill, but it's not overbearing. You get a little bit of spice in there too, starting to creep in there. The charred scallions, a little bit of jalapeno, just a touch of flame on those too. Oh, these are spectacular.
But very simple.
Very simple, and that is key. So to make great tacos al carbon, start by cutting the steak lengthwise into strips and then rub with the chipotle and cumin mixture. Grill the steak, flipping every 2 minutes along with jalapenos. Grill scallions and then tortillas and bring it all inside. Chop the jalapenos and scallions and mix with lime juice to make a very easy salsa. Slice the steak and then assemble the tacos with salsa, lime, cilantro, and sour cream. So from America's Test Kitchen to your kitchen, the absolute best grilled flank steak tacos.
Thanks for watching America's Test Kitchen. What'd you think?
Well, leave a comment and let us know which recipes you're excited to make, or you can just say hello.
You can find links to today's recipes and reviews in the video description.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
See you later.
I'll see you later.